Brody King was on the Sessions podcast this week with Renee Paquette, doing the whole Renee Paquette interview, talking about everything under the moon. And this is not a lot new here. If you've heard any kind of recent Brody King interviews, he did AEW Unrestricted. A lot of the same information there. He did Chris Jericho's podcast. A lot of the same information there. A lot of talking about, his time in the movie business, which sounds really fun. He's like a grip on set for movies, like helped build the sets and carry them around and move them and haul them and, make sure people aren't tripping over cords and all the technical stuff behind the scenes of a movie set. And then he also talked about his love of death metal music or deathcore or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't even remember what it was. But, the violent music where it's like death metal, but you get in the mosh pit and just fucking elbow people in the face and stuff. But it was in this particular clip that I hadn't heard Brody talk about really. And it was addressing his long-term rivalry with Darby Allin. Go ahead and check out this clip.
What was it like for you getting in there and working with Darby and being able to toss around a guy like him, like the matches you guys were able to have?
So Darby and I have a storied history. We started almost the exact same time in wrestling. We started coming up at the same time, becoming popular. And our careers have always kind of mirrored each other. So he was in Evolve. And then I had an Evolve tryout match, and it was against Darby. And it was in Brooklyn, New York, and we beat the shit out of each other all over. And I feel like from that moment on, we kind of realized we have good chemistry, and this is gonna be everywhere. So then we wrestled at AEW a couple times. We wrestled at PWG. I was actually the first person to ever take the skateboard stomp.
Oh shit!
Lucky me.
Yeah. Let me try something real quick.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like when it comes to wrestling Darby, we don't think about it. We just do it, and it's just he trusts me, I trust him, and it just makes for a really good product. Darby's definitely my greatest opponent, and I'm sure that our story is far from over.
Man, these two have had some hellacious matches. Now, I haven't gone back and watched anything that they've done prior to AEW, but the matches they had in AEW were fucking brutal. I was in attendance for the Blood and Guts in Detroit, and on Rampage that week, they filmed the same night, the Rampage Rumble or whatever the fuck it was, where they had the two rings it was a Royal Rumble essentially, but they had the two rings. And it came down to Brody King and Darby Allin. If you remember this was fucking incredible. The crowd gasped. I don't know what your reaction was watching TV, but in the audience, this looked sick as fuck. When Brody King was fucking just strangling, basically, Darby, just choking him out, and then dangled his fucking legs over the edge of the ring, and then just dropped him, and he dropped like a sack of shit. My God, that was the coolest elimination. I mean, one of the most memorable eliminations from a battle royal I've ever seen. It stuck with me. It was a great scene. And then they went on to do their two matches that they had after that, I believe. And one of them was the coffin match. And, they had the fucking just brutalist stuff, bloody battles. But I like this kind of shit. I like that these kind of rivalries where these are career rivalries, and these are the sort of things they'll be able to just keep going back to that because it's just built in. Brody's a cool guy, man. The more I listen to him, I like him a lot. I like the way he looks. I like the way he performs. He's violent. He's very violent. He's brutal. He brings some of that deathcore stuff into the wrestling ring. He's not afraid to be stiff with people and get stiffed back, and he adds a great element to the House of Black. Now, he talked about very candidly in here that he was upset that he didn't want to be taken off of TV when the House of Black was on their hiatus there. And, he was the one that he wants to be there. The rest don't, Buddy Matthews wants to go and Malachi wants to go. He also talked about Julia Hart on here in this show too. I think Julia, the more I hear about her and hear from her, I think she's a much cooler chick than I think people give her credit for, and fits in more with the House of Black than I think people give her credit for too. So, and he kind of talks about how him and his wife have basically took her in, and like they take her to the store to help her buy her wardrobe and shit like that. Just a really fun interview. He seems like a great guy. Lots of cool shit to learn. But man, like I will, like as far as like live show appearances, and this is secretly the real reason why I wanted to talk about this part specifically, is just to put over how awesome that one fucking scene was, the choke out and then the drop. Fucking just beautiful shit. Brody King's a master. I love watching his work. He's a beast, and I think he has close to main event potential. I don't know if he could be the champ, but he could be like a contender to a babyface, like a big brooding monster heel. He's a guy to keep around. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table, and let me know what you think down in the comments below. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip. Don't forget to check out other clips here on the channel, and while you're there, throw a like, throw a subscribe. Don't forget to check out full episodes each and every Sunday of the Pro Wrestling Podcast.